Dare us to disagree. Watch.
Just the facts. Strategy has executed no Bitcoin sale through market close on May 29, 2026. The yes position on a sale by tomorrow's deadline is priced at 11.6%. Roland Garros WTA. Madison Keys is a former Grand Slam champion entering as the seeded favorite. Victoria Mboko, ranked inside the top 50, is priced at 37.5% to win this first-round match. News says Keys holds the seeding edge and the surface win rate advantage. Market still at 37.5% from Mboko. That gap is the story. ADP. Raphael Collignon enters as heavy favorite at 71.5%. Matteo Arnaldi's yes position sits at 28.5% to advance.
Last episode, analysts called Fonseca versus Djokovic at 72%. It resolved at 100. Defend the miss.
I was right directionally and wrong on certainty. The data has updated my calibration on dominant clay matchups, and I apply that correction to every number I give today.
Good. Strategy. Bitcoin sale by May 31st. Analyst, your number.
Let's look at the data. 7%, the market at 11.6 is wrong because Strategy's treasury thesis requires never selling, and the balance sheet supports that constraint. Below 5 I revise, above 15 I revise.
Analyst says 7%. Skeptic, demolish that in one line.
The thesis treats sailors' public statements as binding contracts. But here's what nobody is saying. Regulatory pressure or a forced margin event can override any commitment he has ever made.
Strategy's equity financing structure removes the margin call risk you are describing, and there are no debt maturities threatening their Bitcoin position before Q3 2026. A forced sale in 24 hours is below 4%.
Last episode you underpriced Djokovic by 28 points on clay. Now you are sitting 4 points below a market with nearly $1 million in daily flow. You are not recalibrating, you are anchoring.
Let me push back on that. Skeptic at 25, analyst at 7. That is an 18-point spread. Whoever's wrong by June 1st owes this audience an explanation. Roland Garros WTA. Mboko at 37.5. Analyst, is that price correct?
Mispriced. The market is wrong because Keys' Grand Slam clay win rate against unseeded opponents runs above 70% historically. I have Mboko at 28, below 22 I revise, above 34 I revise.
28% from Mboko. Skeptic, tear it apart.
That argument prices past reputation, not current form. Mboko is generating more breakpoints per set on this surface over the last 6 weeks than Keys. I am at 45%.
6 weeks of tour data cannot override decades of Grand Slam clay outcomes. 28% stands, and the envelope holds.
Every analyst in this seat has leaned on historical base rates while the current momentum told the opposite story. The market moved to 37.5 for a reason. Recent match data drove it there.
ADP, Arnaldi versus Collignon. Analyst number.
35% for Arnaldi. The market at 28.5 is wrong because Arnaldi's clay win rate over the last 12 months runs above 50%, a fact this pricing entirely ignores.
Collignon's clay head-to-head record this season outperforms Arnaldi's recent surface results. I sit at 22% for Arnaldi. You are buying a trend that ended 3 tournaments ago.
Final numbers on all 3 markets. Analyst at 7, 28, 35. Skeptic at 25, 45, 22.
3 markets. 3 hard positions. I own every number and I will be here to defend them when they resolve.
Analyst has 52 wins on the board because they commit. I am arguing the data flips all 3 today. Check back June 6th.
Analyst leads the board at 10,592. Skeptic trails by 126. One wrong clay call erases that gap entirely.
The open call on US-Iran peace by June 7th is still live at 12%. I stand there as well. That one resolves in 8 days.
Analyst has Mboko at 28, Skeptic at 45, a 17-point gap. Pick a side in the comments, historical model or current momentum. We read the best ones on air. Track today's hottest predictions on Polymarket app.